Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Careful.
How are we gonna start this bitch? We doesn't need to be like start right now.
No, it's fine. I'm waiting for Joey, really.
Joey's making some
Joey's making coffee.
good ass coffee.
You're fat.
Alright, I'm gonna
We can't all be bulimic like you.
Fuck you, Seth.
Alright. Go good? Good.
Everybody's good?
So, welcome everybody to the second episode of the Northern Delinquents podcast. We have gained 2 subscribers in the last day. We do not have enough to be on Social Blade yet, but we will soon. So we're trying to make that money.
2 subscribers?
Yeah.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't. It was Josue.
How many subs you at right now?
Like 4.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Alright,
nice.
we're
I'll
dude,
think I'm
exponential growth.
Exponential.
Alright, so I gotta start
Okay,
off.
hold on.
Oh.
That means that our number of subscribers is literally the same as like us talking to a room of people with the exact same amount of people in it.
Imagine that.
Okay, well
Just
we
talking
haven't
to
really.
ourselves,
Okay, well we
guys.
haven't really introduced anyone else. Today with us we have Gabe Doyon and we
Gabriel.
have Seth something
My
Yelly.
brother's fucking watching us through the
And
window.
then-
Fuck you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Guy doesn't know how to fucking. He doesn't understand that we're future kids with our technology. He just looks at us.
And as always, the host, Young T, Tristan,
Me.
motherfucking J-Job.
Oh,
J-Job.
fuck you. That's not my name.
We wanted to use Deadlock last time, but we didn't know.
I just fucking Joey. It's fine. Everybody knows me, bro.
Yeah.
Whose is this?
It's my
Oh
phone.
shit. Okay, well anyways, I have got something to tell you boys.
All right, Gabe. Let's hear it.
Making some fly.
We were talking about this before the show, and I had a seizure today. So pretty much the way it happened was me and Cade were hanging out, and we were
Of
just
course
like
you were.
chilling. Exactly, me and Cade. And then we were smoking a fuck ton of weed out of an apple pipe. Like it was a fuck ton of weed.
Out of
that
this one
fucking
on the
apple?
table.
No,
fucking apple?
actually, yeah, I think it was.
Oh, I don't need out of that. Don't need out of that.
And there's this thing called Nick spray. You know what Nick spray is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
You showed it to me at the plaza before.
Yeah, we do like 30 sprays, and you just like completely pass out. Okay, so I was fucked out of my mind off weed, and then we did 30 sprays each, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my fucking god. And then, you know the pass out challenge where you sit down, and you go,
Yeah.
and you guys making a podcast. We are making
What the
a
fuck?
podcast.
He's got an
is
old
that?
recorder.
What is that?
It's like an old police mic or something.
What is it?
It's a voice modifier. I think your dad might be the jigsaw killer.
That's literally,
Oh my god.
what the hell?
Yeah. He's gonna try and fucking use this in his sound.
It doesn't sound that different than 6ix9ine though. Sounds
my
like the
God.
same.
Bro, fuck 6ix9ine. But,
You would.
Dave, you don't know.
His
Oh,
his
God.
teeth look like he ate a box of Candyland.
That sounds so fucking weird. Bro, but
Oh.
the story, fuck, okay, so I did
Yeah.
the pass out challenge, and my homie Cade
How's
just
that a
grabs me.
fucking challenge?
It's not a challenge, it's something you do when you're high as fuck.
That's like getting enlisted into the military and being like hashtag try not to die.
Did the
So if you
fucking
don't know what the
shoot
pass
my
out
show
challenge
up?
is, the pass out challenge is when you just like breathe really hard and hyperventilate and then force a bunch of like blood to your head.
Wow.
Right? And then you can die from it, right?
Yeah.
So I did it. This is like my 30th time doing it. I swear to God, like
Oh my god.
I know it's fun.
That explains a lot,
It's a
dude.
problem, man. But so I'm like, I do it. I blow into my thumbs, and then he holds me when I pass out, and apparently I start shaking, and I go, and then my arms go up, and I'm like,
Oh my god, Gabe.
no, but this isn't even the seizure. I wake up after like 45 seconds of like just shaking. He literally told me it was like 40 seconds.
Do you
woke
remember
up-
yourself shaking?
I don't remember anything. It felt like I turned into liquid. So he puts me down, and I wake up, and I'm like, and I just pass out again, and then I start shaking.
What the fuck is
Oh, that's not
hold
good.
up, what was that noise you just made?
I passed
Dude.
out.
I don't think you should be criticizing people and what noises they make when they're moving.
You know what?
What happened?
Yes, Seth.
So we were leaving Popeyes,
Oh, fuck's sake.
and I was making the joke
Don't roast
that that you and me were discussing like Mike, cause Mike's like into traps, or he was making the joke, and I said, well, Mike already looks like shit, but if you put him behind a curtain, he already sounds like a girl.
Who? Mike Giles?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So the joke.
He does not. He's got a fucking deep voice. He's got music.
this, he sounds like a hot bitch.
Gabe. You're not gonna catfish anyone with that.
Oh no.
mic further away from your mouth.
Hey, she right on my dick. That's her handle. I fuck on that bitch wear Jesus sandals. Okay.
Fuck, I wish we had an air conditioning unit in here. Jesus Christ.
I wish we actually had a studio.
Yeah, I wish we did too, Tristan.
I gotta tell you guys about that also.
We're gonna be setting up a patron soon too. So if any of you guys want to help us out,
Hey guys,
make our dreams.
4
Shut up.
subscribers here. If anybody wants to donate some fucking money to us, you know it's real tough to continue the show when you got
Justin Trudeau running your shit.
when you got work and yeah, it's tough, guys. We just need a couple $100. Our buddy
we need
really
to
needs
buy
some
we need to
cocaine
buy
right
some
now.
foam pads for
Oh my
rooms.
god. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that, Tristan. I'm renting out the whole basement for the next house that I'm gonna be in. So I'm gonna have my room.
The next house.
Wait, the house that we're moving into in October.
Oh,
I'm gonna have my
the
room.
one in Avalon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my room in the basement, and then I'm gonna have a room that connects to my room. It's gonna be the studio. So if you guys want, I can set up a big table in the middle and I have my desk and stuff. But it's just an idea. But like, if you guys ever need to record somewhere, it could be there. And there's gonna be LED lights and shit with
That's
sound.
gonna be good.
It'll be lit.
Yeah.
But if you ever get time, it'd be
Not
so
true.
yo.
Oh.
The concept for the room was fucked.
That's gonna be good. Can we get Vsauce Michael on the show? Is he Canadian? No,
No, he is Canadian, right?
he's in Britain now or some shit.
Oh yeah, he's British.
Yeah, we
British
have Twitter. It's at Northern Delinquents. But please, if you would like to be on the show, let us know.
Yep. I just want to shamelessly plug my music.
Oh my god.
SoundCloud.
That's
Just kidding.
bullshit, Gabe. You have shame.
It's
Okay?
okay.
Watch this video get age restricted.
It's all Gabe's music is just like, hey, I'm having sex with somebody. I have
No.
a gun.
I have a
Fucking with you.
Let me pile 14 women onto the stairs to show you. Do you believe I'm not gay yet?
Oh my god.
What is iDubbbz doing?
Not nothing.
Yeah, what has he been up to?
He posted that last video where it was about
It was about sizes of food and drink.
Well, you know what I liked about that video is that he was
It was
going back
new.
to his edgy self, kind
He
of.
wasn't being fucking like fake
No.
kid friendly.
I didn't know. I didn't like how he's being like unironically like. Sorry, Gabe's touching tips together with somebody.
It's not
I have
gay,
a
bro.
fucking lighter.
And so do I.
But is a lighter cool?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got
it
a
is.
stove. Yeah, it's a stove. It's a little stove.
Dude, fucking.
Look at that.
Time to cook.
Wait, it might just, what the fuck?
Yeah, don't touch that with your finger. It'll burn you.
That.
You can try though.
Why do you say shit that's like a fucking 4-year-old understands these topics?
How's your banana bread, Joey?
It's not banana bread, it's flaxseed bread, and I'm gonna shit a fucking storm later because I've been eating this.
Has anybody here had a paranormal encounter? A paranormal, that some scary shit that's happened that you just can't explain.
Okay, now we're really gonna
This
get
guy,
age
this.
restricted.
I want to hear this. I
Alright.
want to hear this.
Do you? Do you have one?
I'm interested in this. I want to hear it.
I have not.
Okay. So you go.
Oh, and just to make it seem like we're not copying a certain podcast that I'm sure a lot of people know, we're talking about drug trips experiences, not really just encounters.
Oh shit.
No. Paranormal
Don't worry, we only
first.
have 4 subscribers. No one knows what we're doing.
Paranormal shit first, then you can talk about your drug experience.
You know, it'd be stupid if we did it at the end of the podcast. That'd be even worse. Then we definitely get age restricted.
Dude, no,
Sorry, Ethan.
Oh yeah, sorry Ethan. Sorry
Yeah.
your sister's really liking me.
You know that's his wife, right? That's not
Ethan?
his sister.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ethan.
No, I'm talking about fucking H3.
You
You know how at the end of their podcast they always have like a ghost story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was like thinking. I was
Oh.
like, yeah.
Alright, well, Gabe, tell us your...
Tell us about your drug trip.
I didn't fucking know they had
Okay.
a ghost story.
The scary night. It was a scary Christmas Eve night.
Gabe took the mic from us.
No. It's for the story.
Oh, okay.
And here's the ambient one. It's for the reactions. This is for the story. I'm gonna send you the audio by that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you don't
Or
want to?
Joey's gonna send me the audio because it's his laptop.
No, as in I'm gonna email it from you. This one.
You're taking 2 samples.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
synced up. Like that's the ambient one for the reactions, and then whenever someone's saying a story or something.
Alright.
Okay.
So prepared, guys.
It was a somber Christmas Eve night. I was watching Breaking Bad season 3, episode 2, I believe, were the episode, whatever episode where fucking Jesse gets his shit kicked out of him by this crazy motherfucker. So,
every second episode?
yeah. Wait, what? But
Shut up. There's nobody in that show that looks like you.
so I'm lying there, and then I just start feeling like someone's watching me. So I'm like looking around. I'm like 12 years old. Okay, what the fuck? I'm just gonna go back to watching my drug dealer show. Then I feel like cold go all over my body. And then I hear footsteps behind me. I'm like, the fuck? It's Christmas Eve. I thought my brother was playing a prank on me. I thought it was my mom. I'm like, Mom? And I feel these long ass fingers
It's turning into a fan fiction.
go around. Her long fingers grasp my shoulders. And yeah, it
What
like
house is this at?
Kenosha screamed into my fucking ear, and it was like,
You told me about that.
it was terrifying, bro. It was some scary shit.
Buddy Gabe, he gets like straight fucking psychosis.
No, but it's probably from all the asbestos in the basement.
It's from
Oh my god.
fuck the basement, bro. It was a lit time. What's your craziest hallucinogenic story?
I don't know. Get into that.
It's hot out here, Dad.
It is.
Open the door.
Somebody open the door.
One of you boys go do it then.
Come on.
Anyways,
I
but
see what I see.
no, one of the craziest ones I've ever had probably was either one of my first ones or my second one that I did it, where I was talking to my cat.
Oh, the shrooms?
And yeah, and it was because it was like my first time doing it, and the thing is that there's nothing that's gonna prepare you for what you experience, because you can explain to somebody, you can show them visuals, but the emotional and like feeling you get from it is like 10 times more intense. And the thing is that your brain doesn't know what to do with that, and if you have a mental illness or if you have something that doesn't go with what you like, or something that might scare you, it really messes up your internal, thoughts.
I remember you called me that night.
Well, it's because I didn't know who to call because I was like freaking out, and then I had Sarah over at my house because I had to have somebody over because I was like freaking out, and I called you and I wanted you to come over.
Yo, wait, sorry. You were tripping balls off shrooms?
Yeah.
And it was just a bad trip? You were like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was like one of those weird experiences where it was like my first time, and JD gave me like a whole bag, and he was just like, okay, here you go, and I didn't really scale it out, and I didn't know what it was gonna do, because I didn't know anybody that did them before, and I was going by my own pretenses. And
back then.
Well, no, and he told me he was like, eat like 3 grams, that's so much is in here, and I'm like, alright. And the thing is that the whole trip didn't last because I probably fell asleep around 4 or 5. But it's because the worst thing you can do is force something you don't want to do. Because like I tried going to sleep because I was under the notion of when I used to get really high, the best thing to do was just to sleep. It was to shut off your brain and to not make yourself active and to just sleep. Because once you sleep, you won't remember, you won't have any psychoactive experiences where it'll fuck with you. But shrooms is different because shrooms it points your brain or your head in a certain direction of what you want. So it shows you something that you've either always wanted or that you want to experience, and just because someone's told you no or just because it's not right, you're gonna want to do it anyways. But the thing is that you feel like you're never gonna do it to a certain extent, which is why I always feel like it's very contradictive, because your brain will tell you one thing and what you see will be another. And it also depends on why you're tripping, because I know people that just do it like they used to do it just for fun because they were like, oh, it's doing drugs. But I found it as an experience, because if you were to look for something, if you told yourself beforehand, okay, this is why I want to do it, then you'll experience that. And I used to, like, when I did it my second time, I woke up at like 10. I got a good night's sleep beforehand. I was listening to good music. I ate food. I was just healthy at the time. And then I had good people with me. It was under good notions. I had a plan. I had something to do. You were there, because that was your one of your first times.
That was my bad trip.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was fucking great.
You got on your bike and you were just like, I gotta go.
You were
and I was
going
like,
off
go.
the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
You're
but
like,
no.
yo, I'm gonna.
What really happened was fucking Mike kept following me, so I was like scared because I was tripping
Mike?
balls. Mike, long hair Mike.
Oh yeah, he
I
gets
didn't
real
like the
touchy
long
when
hair.
he's high.
I just didn't like that long hair, and I was like, get away from me. It was scary, bro.
I forgot to ask you this. In grade 9, when you were in grade 9, you came to me and you're like, dude, this guy has a crush on me. And I fucking made fun of you. Because it was like the first 2 fucking days of high school and some dude already had a crush on you.
Fuck, I forget who it
Was that Mike?
I think it was Mike.
I remember, because you said it was a guy named Mike.
I thought Mike had a crush on me. I thought Mike had a fucking crush on me.
No, he's just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown at 420, he was being kind of feely with everyone, and I was driving back in
Well,
Brandon's...
he just does that when he's high.
Well, because I was in the back, and I was driving the SUV, and I was already super high, and I was trying to drive home, so I had to focus, like, so intently. And the thing was, is that I was, like, looking back to see who was behind me, but I could see Mike, like, fucking with Joey, and fucking with Ashley, and I was getting pissed, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna kick them out eventually.
Did he get kicked out?
No, because we went to Wendy's, and then I just got food, and when we got home, everyone was really high, and we drove past Joey's house, and everyone was kind of nauseous, and I was just like, okay, everybody go do your own thing.
Yeah, but yo, back to what you were saying about shrooms and like looking for like you gotta like want to be looking for something when you're on shrooms. What do you look for when you're like?
Depends. Originally it's because you never want to hold something back. Because if you do, then you'll fuck with yourself, and you'll build a stress to the point where you feel like no one will accept you for who you are, and you either just have to end your life or you have to leave because nothing's going to go your way.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing that I've always had with that is that instead of doing that, try saying anything. Try talking about it, and you'll be surprised of how either intact or relatable that people are. Because at first it was drugs, and that was I guess that was like the taboo thing, especially in grade 9 and 10. Not a lot of people were about it, and the people that they were either you like ratchet pieces of shit that weren't going to do anything, or they were people just starting off that were trying to look for something. So it was a hard balance. But now it's different, because now it's legalized, and some fucking dad can go do it, so it's different. And now it's not as fun in the sense of it's not illegal, so a lot of people were turned away from it, but now it has the chances to do more medical. But what I'm not afraid of it, but what I'm thinking is that this is going to move people towards either harder drugs or different ones because they're looking for something that's wrong. Somebody's telling them not to do it, and they're going to go ahead and do it.
You think that's why someone made fucking acid? Is because like they're like, oh fuck shrooms, they're
No,
always making me cry.
acid was
I'm gonna make some new shit.
No, acid was made. No, it was discovered accidentally in World War II by a German scientist in the Netherlands, and he accidentally got some on his finger because LSD is part chemical and part plant. It's a fungus that grows on wheat. It's called argot or something like that. And he got some on his finger when he was doing experiments on it, and he was riding his bike home because it was wartime, so you couldn't really drive. And he was tripping, and it was like, and it was funny because I think it's like April 23rd or 24th, and everyone knows about 420, but nobody really knows about the 24th or 23rd. I have to look it up.
Wasn't it the 19th?
It was one of those days when and it's when psychedelic people. And there's not a lot of them left. It was mainly in the 60s and 70s when it was adopted.
Maybe it's because everybody does weed now and no one wants to be like, oh, it's 420, let's just grab a fucking couple mushrooms.
No one wants the stigma around the psychedelics to be
it's
on
also
the weed,
like,
because the weed is
psychedelics is something that you plan for. Weed, you can just fucking smoke whatever.
420 is just like to praise weed. It's not, and it's saying how not bad it is. But
before it was a point that it's not going to do anything to you. And then it wasn't until later when I started to get like really high strains, and I started to just smoke so much that it was like freaking me out. Like when I had the edible, there was 65 milligrams in it, and it was just a thing where it was like it felt like I was having a heart attack. And the thing that was funny is that I thought it was just me, because I thought it was the drugs that I was doing. But when I went to go see my doctor, it had nothing to do with that, because I told them, and then they did blood work, and they checked my cholesterol, and they checked my BPM, and they checked all this other stuff, and they said, no, it's fine. They said, everything's fine. And I was like, okay. So,
did you find out?
No. What I found out was that it was just because I wasn't eating enough. And the thing is that
Fucking anorexic.
Because you're always
Diet-
stoned.
no,
Oh,
because
wait.
no, because
No,
the-
no,
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 because
that-
I just didn't eat
Because
like
his stomach, his brain got used to not eating.
because I had gastro, and the thing was is that my psychiatrist labeled it as a traumatic experience for me.
Oh, so
So my brain, because I'm always hungry and I always love food, but my brain, you know, when I eat too much or when I eat a certain food, it's either I get an anxiety or my stomach starts to feel upset, and then I have to go do something, or I have to just sit down and do nothing, or I have to have, you know, like Pepto-Bismol or bismuth, because it's like an acid reflux, but with it comes with the mental stuff. Because you know, I was like constantly throwing up for like 2 days straight. I was like, you know, throwing up blood and stuff, and it was really bad. I was in the hospital, and it felt like I was gonna. This was before I left for Australia in February. We weren't really talking,
yeah,
but Joey was, and I told them, because I was sick and I didn't go to school for a day, and then I missed like 3 days of work, and I was sick. I went with you to Wendy's, I think, or to Pizza. And then that night I went home, and I was trying to sleep, and I just got more sick, and I couldn't stop throwing up. It was such a painful experience. And then I just forced it, because they gave me this like Gravol that's like an extra step up, and it made me super stoned. And then I just no, it was funny. And then I said
what?
And then I told my mom, I was like, listen, I paid for this plane ticket. We're going on the plane. So I was like, in the car I was okay. So but then when we got to BC, and we were traveling from the other end, I couldn't even walk because I was in so much pain. So we got like one of those little go-kart things that the airport people, and then they drove me off. And then I couldn't really remember the rest of it because I just passed out. I was so tired. I haven't slept in like 2 days. I didn't eat anything. I woke up and I asked one of the people on the plane. I was like, "You need to give me a shit ton of food because I haven't eaten in like 3 days."
Holy fuck!
And then when I got to Australia and I saw the person I was staying with, and Laura and Morgan, I was like, it was weird because the time zones were later. So I remember getting to BC at like midnight, and I remember leaving Ottawa at 6 p.m. But it felt like I got like a day of sleep because the time zones changed. When
Holy shit!
So it felt like I was well rested, and it was like 6 a.m, and we're driving back, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I just slept for another day because I was so fucking tired.
Yeah.
You were just so stoned for the fucking period of that. Did you bring weed to Australia?
No.
Did you have weed?
No.
You didn't get to smoke in Australia?
No, I did. There was and this is a funny thing, is why I wanted to move there, is that they take their parks and recreations really seriously because they don't want people destroying the city, because the city's really nice, and what they're doing is that
Tourist stuff, right?
well, yeah, they make millions off of that shit. It's crazy. And what they do basically is that anybody that's trying to vandalize something or whatever, they have graffiti walls everywhere, and then they have almost at every school and every recreational park they have a skate park. And it's not like Bob McCrory. Like it's either like Legacy or the one in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's around that size. It's really big parks. They invest money.
It's everywhere.
And they
It's
have
a big
bulls.
government. That's why it's a big government with a small area.
Because they
Yeah.
realize that instead of having no, because the thing is that even if you don't skate, the parks are just cool to hang out at.
Yeah.
Because you can smoke there. You can just chill there. There's shade. There's water. There's like convenience stores. It's a spot, because we all just reconcile it in our head as something cool, because we can do something there that we can't do at home, or we can't do out in public, and it's just some place where we can hang out. We don't have to worry about being arrested or being chased or whatever. So it's interesting that they had them everywhere. And I couldn't believe it. And the amount of money they put into their social programs is ridiculous. Because every time when I used to go downtown to skate, they were so keen on it. And then I was like, okay. And then I went around and they had all these parks everywhere, and I'm like, oh.
Oh,
fuck.
like they invest a lot of money into morale, like things that.
Well, security, like private security down there is crazy.
Really?
And like, yeah, like
I would think
I
so.
was skating through a plaza. Like I was skating through like a plaza. And it was like marble, and there was some people walking around, but I was sticking to the side, and it was okay. And the funny thing is that the security guard stopped me, and he was like, off your board. And I was like, fuck. And just like so many open places that you'd think were public, you can't.
Really?
and it's weird. It's like you know the plaza over by
Like Centrum?
yeah, where we skate, where the banks are.
Okay,
so it's like that, but it's all marble, and then tiles, and there's shops. So there's a bunch of shops, and there's a skate shop at the back, and there's a skate shop in every borough. So it's like in Orleans, I'll map it out. There would be a skate shop here. You go to Rockland, there's a local skate shop there. You go to Gloucester, there's you go anywhere, and it's there. And it's not only that, but for them, it's like you know how we have stores here where it was like Zoomies or whatever, and it was associated with the lifestyle, I guess. Well, over there, it's where it started. It started surfing and then it moved on to skateboarding, and they take pride in that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they have shops every couple blocks for it. And if I go to Bondi or Manly or any of the beaches there or whatever, and you go to any of the shops, they're gonna charge $80 to $40 or something. I go back to Wollongong where I was staying, and they charge half that.
No, it's just chicks.
You know where I've always wanted to go?
Where?
Like Detroit. Just for
We
the
can
abandoned
drive there.
buildings.
I'm
Yeah,
down to
but-
go.
But it's dangerous.
You're not
as
gonna
fuck.
fucking drive back because your car is gonna get stolen.
No, and that's a funny thing. I wanted to download the series because it's really hard to find, but I'm sure you know him. You've seen him on the Ride channel. His name's Rick McCrank. He's from British Columbia. He got a show on Vice where it was called Abandoned, and he ran around to places in America that were abandoned.
Yeah.
And his first episode was in a mall in the middle of Minnesota, and it was a shopping mall. It was a huge shopping mall from like the 90s that got abandoned, and apparently it was haunted. And it was him going around it and just exploring shit. And most of the aspects were about skating. And it was about some, like, his second or third one was about, he explored an abandoned nuclear missile silo from the Cold War. And then he talked to this guy who lived in his van and was like a survivalist and had caches. And then he talked to this skater that was in, I think it was near, like, it was near Portland.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was near Seattle. It was like the outskirts of Seattle.
Oh, Seattle's lit.
Because Seattle has beaches, but they're really cold and shitty. It's kind of like British Columbia, a little bit.
Yeah.
Their city's really lit, but like the beaches are still cold. Like you have to go down to like the north of LA.
Yeah.
Isn't Seattle's like really close?
Seattle's the
capital.
capital of Washington. Because
Yeah.
Washington D.C. isn't a state. It's like it's in the East Coast. It's like it's a district.
Okay, Google. Seattle coast.
No, ask them what the
Here's some information about.
No, ask them where. Ask them which state is Seattle in.
But
Because it's in Washington.
Okay, Google. What state is Seattle in?
I just want to
State
see
is
some abandoned
Washington.
buildings.
Yeah, see?
It's in Washington.
Yeah.
Seattle from maps.
I want to see some abandoned buildings though.
Here's a map of
Yeah.
Seattle.
I've always
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to find
back to
some
what you were
abandoned
saying
buildings.
about fucking Australia and like how it looks like you can skate in a lot of places but you can't. But the thing is that here in Canada they build like 3 fucking skate parks within like 40-kilometer
Oh my
radiuses, and they're like, we built skate parks, you have nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
You can't skate anywhere but there.
See,
But then in
no.
Australia they actually do have that shit, and they're
Well,
like,
But
yeah,
here they
complain.
build them.
Exactly.
Here they'll build the skate parks and
fucking
everything,
complain.
right? Okay, and you're like, yeah,
This is
stop
Seth, by
fucking.
the way.
What's up, niggas? So,
He's brown, he can say that.
Thanks for the fucking update, Gabe.
No, he's not. He
You
wants
know,
to
man.
be. He
yeah, I
wants to
just
be
gotta
white.
make
I
sure we
wanna
don't
be
get
white.
fucking
okay,
lynched.
okay. So like in Australia, they have the skate parks and they maintain them and they're nice. Okay, here they give us 3 skate parks. Some of them are nicer than others, right?
They're not even parks. They're like
just-
fucking spots.
They're just spots. They're
like
small
the
little
one,
areas.
like the one at Vista Park. It's got like a mini ramp, that shitty ass
It's got like a
box thing.
It's
that
literally
doesn't
had-
even
What's the one
exist.
with the dig, like the
that's
dugout?
that's,
thing?
that's legacy.
That's the biggest park in Ottawa.
and that's the lit one, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
But like no. See, they say, oh yeah, we gave you guys skate parks, you know,
Mm-hmm.
stop fucking complaining, but they don't maintain them. Like Bob
Yeah.
McQuarrie,
No, and
Bob
that's
McQuarrie needs to be repaved
and-
really badly.
yeah.
You can't skate
And
that.
when I was there, the manual pad, the guy I was talking to, Jason, he said they fixed it. And they came back, they took out that concrete, and then they fixed it themselves. But the funny thing is that I made the joke. I'm like, well, it's kind of a point too. Is that if you guys come around and change the garbages, and you guys look around at each spot and structure that you guys have been working on, and you put in the effort to see if we've made any changes to the park, and then yet you don't want to improve it or add any other features to it, then why bother trying to destroy anything we're making? Because the city turns around and they're like, oh, well, it's our property. It's private property.
But they're not fucking...
And we have to maintain it. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, you guys don't maintain it.
Yeah, you built it for us, but you're not taking
maintain
care of it.
Bob McCrory was built like in like fucking 95 or whatever. It's
Yeah, around
it's so old. It's like almost 23 years old.
It's practically... It's like trying to skate on gravel there.
It is.
It is. That's
It's
why.
It's that old and it hasn't
And
been
the
mowed.
shirt there.
Mic got unplugged. Real quick. Just testing something. Keep talking real quick.
Okay.
Test. Blah, blah,
Um,
blah, 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 blah.
I just wish there was more
Blah,
places.
blah, blah.
Like Vanier where we could fucking find buildings
But
and shit.
Vanier is like
It's still
it's,
illegal.
It's Ottawa's Detroit basically.
Yeah, it's still illegal, but
it's not
the
even
police
that
are too
big.
busy worrying about like stabbings.
Yeah.
But it's not even that big.
It's not.
Because Detroit, you can walk like the section of Vanier that we've gone, like that 5 minutes of us going from building to building down there. That's like
That was
hours
Yeah.
on end that you can do.
But like,
It's just more lit down there.
I think the one place that I would really like to like explore, you can't now, but Kowloon, the walled city, in I think it's China.
That place
That
doesn't
got-
exist still,
yeah,
does it?
no, it got torn down in
Yeah.
the 70s. But that place, it was a slum, and it was like horrible
China?
living conditions. But fuck, it would be cool to.
You could just
Well, there's
fucking
still
climb
places-
everything,
in China?
right? You can explore like
Well,
there's
remember
It's-
Black Ops?
They made a map of it in Black Ops, one of the DLCs.
Remember-
Kowloon.
Not even
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Not even that.
That's
Remember the one where
legitimately
the
what it
nerve
looks
gas where you had to find the scientist in China?
Yes, that
my
mission was
God.
set in Kowloon.
Yeah.
That's actually what it looked like, dude. It's fucking.
Dude, China's
And they tore it down because the whole joke was it was a communist built thing because it was built
Oh, yeah.
because they had a bunch of ammunition.
Well, that's the reason they used.
They-
but it
they
was
had a
because
bunch
it was
of-
an eyesore and it was fucking horrendous for living conditions.
Dude, China's
It was in Hong Kong. Look at let me find a good picture of the inside.
Don't tell me how to run my communist regime.
The thing about Kowloon is that it was just so fucking dense. Any possible living space that a human being could fit in, they built into a living space. Because it was anyone could build there.
Go to your own marketplaces. This is free.
bullshit. It's just I can guarantee it's just with parts.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what you want, what I really, really want. I wanna do it.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Gabe.
Take it away from him, please.
Jesus.
You gotta let out some autism every once in a while.
Yeah, or else it's like fucking.
Just
It's like a
explodes.
sneeze, huh? That's what Kowloon looked like, but that's like one level.
Okay, let's put up a picture of Kowloon in post.
Yeah,
just so you
they,
guys can
like
see this.
they had like courtyards, stories up,
That looks actually kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie. If that's supposed to look bad, that's actually kind of dope.
but it was horrendous living conditions. That's what it looked like.
Let me see this. Let me see this.
yeah,
It was It was a gigantic city-sized apartment building.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water in
No.
Kowloon.
And some people lived in Kowloon without ever seeing sunlight. Because they were trapped in the fucking... They were pretty much trapped in the building.
It was
And there was no reason to go outside because
no.
everything was in the building.
Yeah, and the smog and shit, right?
Mm-hmm. They didn't have the fucking proper... It wasn't built to code. Sometimes shit would just collapse.
Really?
And
These
you know what?
buildings?
And you know what? Not the buildings, but rooms would collapse. And you know what that would mean? That would make it just a bigger fucking room for whoever didn't die there. They didn't give a fuck about the living conditions there.
Oh my god.
It was ridiculous. And like the size of some of these rooms were tiny because they were building them in these confined spaces. Anything that wasn't being used would be built into a room, like broom closet sized spaces.
And someone would live in that.
Somebody would live there.
How the fuck do you sleep like that? Do you
Exactly.
sleep standing up?
Practically, some people did.
It's by a shitty little closet space just so you can have like a gravity simulator machine attached to it. And you just sleep on the ceiling.
Here, look, that's what it looked like on the inside. It was like damp. It was like a cave.
That doesn't even look like a building.
Yeah,
That
it was horrendous living conditions.
You know Bioshock?
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
a little bit, yeah.
That's straight up Bioshock.
And the piping
Yeah,
was
okay.
all... The piping...
Everything was
Choke your apple.
Everything was built by citizens.
Yeah, and everything
There was no government for it, so everybody just built their own shit.
and everything.
You had to pretty much... what happened is they would have the electricity on the bottom floor, and everyone would just kind of steal the electricity all the way up. Because
So by the time you get to that pub-
the way that you would get your electricity if you built a place on one of the upper floors is you would steal it from one of the lower floors. Because there's no fucking wiring. They had to do it all themselves.
Fucking communism.
Yeah.
Well, and all the wires were exposed, so
Look at
like,
that.
if you touch them,
Did you bring weed?
no.
That was racist.
Yeah. But I would love to fucking explore it.
I
I'd
wonder
probably
what
get
the
stabbed.
fucking
I would
outside
like to
lights
live there,
I
but
don't think anybody wants to live there.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't want to stay there at all. But I definitely just sort of fuck around, climb everything, explore, like just see the entire
Yeah.
slum area.
I'd
You know?
stay there.
There's a couple documentaries on it and they're fucked because like people would do like you just see some dude making fucking rice cakes and he'd look like a fucking machine because all the life is drained out of him. He's just sitting there just like making fucking rice cake after rice cake. It's so depressing.
That's so fucked.
You know what else is so depressing?
Hmm.
Crushing cans.
Shut up. That joke's old.
You're old, you fucking.
I'm older than you.
Exactly.
I can vote. Oh my god. I will get you fucking deported, Seth. I'll vote.
That's fucking.
Oh my
oh,
god.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, back to
Don't
Nova
fuck with
Scotia
me.
with you.
Yeah, back to Nova
Back
Scotia.
to Nova Scotia. Yeah, go eat your fucking chip truck fish.
Fuck you, it's good.
That's the only thing that I want from Nova Scotia,
It's
honestly.
so fucking good.
You can. Did you know that in Nova Scotia you can buy fish from a chip truck?
You can buy fish from a fucking chip truck here
You
too.
can buy fish from like some dude on the street in Nova Scotia. It's it's like 100% fish. I love it.
What time are we getting right now?
Currently at
36.
already.
all right.
Does anybody else have something to bring up?
Nope. But after this, we're gonna go.
Spray
Me
paint shit
and,
at the falls.
yeah, we're gonna go and spray paint shit at the falls. So,
Oh, bet.
you want to take a video of that and post it up?
Let's do it.
Take a video.
Speaking of, if you want to ever get any other skits in or whatever from from your channel that you didn't want to,
That you never did.
you never
we can
got to
that.
do, we can just post them on mine too if you want.
Okay.
But
I'm fucking down. What the hell? As soon
you
as I
wanna
get
film
into
the
the
video?
house. Huh?
So we can post it on.
Yeah, let's make a video for it.
Okay.
Yeah, spray paint and shit.
Climbing and graffiti and shit.
One day, if we get big enough, we should do a video podcast.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
that's in the future.
Yeah.
But you know, who
That's why I'm
knows?
setting up a Patreon.
All
That's
right.
gonna be lit.
Who
So, anyways,
knows?
like we said before, if you guys want to go support the show, make sure to go support the. Show
Patreon.
your support at the Patreon designated.
I'll be setting it up soon.
Alright.
You'll see it eventually.
We're
Yeah,
signing
yeah, we'll
off
see
for now. We're gonna go and shoot a video, so that's probably gonna be up pretty much
Yeah.
at the same time as this.
Maybe.
Remember, guys, to not like and subscribe like you've all been doing. I appreciate that. And not
Leave a
leaving any
comment if you
comments
have
from
something to
fucking
say.
Anyone.
Northern Delinquents.
To be a gangster. A real gangster ass nigga plays his cards right. A real gangster ass nigga never runs his fucking mouth 'cause real gangster.